Hey, everybody. Today's topic on Madge Unmuted is cheaters. Why do they cheat and what are their excuses?
You mean cheaters at board games or something?
No, cheating with sex, with having sex with other people that they're not supposed to be having sex with because they're already having sex with somebody else.
That sounds like a very interesting and meaty conversation. I think I'll listen.
Yes. Stay tuned. Roll it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your hostess, Madge Madigan. Hello, and with me, yes. We always cut them off at the knees. And with me, as always, is my wonderful producer, Fitz.
Hi.
Fitz of rockfox.com for all your recording needs, video and audio.
Audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
Calling all self-published authors. You're a self-published author.
I am.
Madge.
I am.
Which I haven't told you in a while, but that is such an incredible accomplishment, and I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm a bit hard on myself about that now because, I wrote it 10, 11 years ago or 11 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't like it now.
Oh, yeah. No, anything that
But I mean, because it's about myself and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so far past that.
Yeah.
I don't want to...
Yeah, it's a different stage of your life.
Yeah.
And
So I'm not
yes.
sure whether I should do a revision or do a part 2. But if I did, I would come to Rockfox Studios
to do the audiobook,
audio
the
part.
audio version.
Do you?
I think people would love to hear you narrate a book, honestly.
I could do it in the most obnoxious voice. Welcome today. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I don't know the opening line of any of the book.
Call me Ishmael.
Yeah, there you go. Moby Dick.
What about Moby? I haven't heard from Moby in a while. What's he up to?
Yeah, I know. He used to be the man with, kind of music. But anyway, rockfox.com. You want to record a book, Fitz has got you. One thing of housekeeping I have to take care of is I have to give a shout out to my brother Michael.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Mike Madigan.
That isn't an Irish name at all.
I know, Michael John.
Michael John Madigan. What are you doing with your tallywhacker hanging out in school?
Don't talk about my brother like that. Well, we used to call him Mr. Mike because back then, like he was in his 20s or something when Michael O'Donoghue was on Saturday Night Live, and he had a thing. He'd call himself Mr. Mike. I don't know if you remember.
I don't. Who is that? Who are you talking about?
Michael O'Donoghue. He was an original writer of Saturday Night Live, and he...
is this the first, not ready for prime time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he did... Oh, the very first sketch ever on Saturday Night Live he was in. It was the one where he's like John Belushi is like an immigrant of some sort, and Michael O'Donoghue is reading from a book, basically, I guess, trying to teach him how to speak English, and reading. He's reading lines to him, and then John Belushi's reciting them back, and he's repeating everything. Well, Mr. Mike starts to have a heart attack, and so John Belushi clutches his chest. And
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Yeah.
So anyway,
Yep.
Long story not short. That's going to be my... So my brother Michael, he is the best. He is a retired electrical engineer. And...
Too bad he can't sketch a new freaking setup for your house there.
Well... He tried to help. I don't know how many weeks ago, like 3 weeks now, maybe, we had a really bad windstorm and my electricity went out. This is such a long story, but I was the only person. So I called my brother, and I'm like, he's rewired many a houses and whatnot. And I'm trying to describe things to him. Now, I still had fuses in my house, and all of my house was out except for one bedroom. I couldn't even. So Michael was like going through everything. You know, he's walking me through everything, and he was absolutely right about whatever was wrong. Sorry, I don't remember the details anymore, Mike. But you diagnosed it. You were right. You're the man.
It's what
And
we call fucked in the trade.
yeah. And he's like, you got to get circuit breakers. Is what you got to do.
You need to like come back into the 1970s at least.
Exactly, but he got the shit was all wired wrong, and he's like, "What on earth?" And he's like, "They must have that wired back, or he must blah blah blah." And it turns out that he was right on everything. So anyway, on another note, so I had to get shit like my fuse box was like had burn marks and shit. My house was like ready to burned down. And so I got an electrician. They redid my house today. And the guy was just, yeah, it's a clusterfuck. And then, do you remember that old sketch on Saturday Night Live where I think it was like Jimmy Fallon was like the computer tech guy?
Oh, yeah.
The office tech guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was always like,
yeah.
Oh, very condescending.
Somebody just shared that on Facebook not too long ago. I just watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, and they would be like, he's tell him to do something. He's like, move over and have me do it. Well, the one guy I had today who was obviously I don't know. I think the younger guy was the tech, and then he was the like maybe master electrician or whatever the fuck it is. He was doing that to me.
Oh God.
Who replaced the fuses in your fuse box? Whoever did that was just like how they didn't burn your house down, blah, blah, blah. He kept, and it's like, okay, obviously I'm the only one here.
I've known people like that. And
he's
you
like,
call them, you ask them, and you go, so I'm trying to do this. And they're like, well, there's your first problem. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. Like, the younger guy was much more understanding. He's like, well, you got the, and I get it. When my house was
Judgy
built,
pants.
I get it. My house, like I never took, electrical shop, and I never took any engineering courses. So blow me, Mr. Electrician guy. So my brother Michael was very nice. He's like he knew that I didn't know. So he was just being very nice and saying, well, you got to have this
Brothers
and you
are
got to
like
have
that.
that. Yeah. And so then this guy was like, well, back in the day, when they built these houses, we didn't have all these electronics. So they only put in like the bare minimum.
Right. You had a lamp, you had a TV, you had a radio, and a blender. That's it.
Exactly. And,
maybe you had a blender.
And he's like, well, you can't, they've got the refrigerator thing wired into the back door light, and but you can't.
But that's
can't
how
you? Yeah,
my house is like
yeah,
that.
they like the people when as more electronics came along, somebody's just like, well, I'm just gonna tap into this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wire these two together and see if I can plug this in now. Yeah. So they did that shit, and it's still a little bit of a clusterfuck, but
My house is wired all strangely too. Like,
yeah.
I had to change some outlets because they were old. You know how the outlets get so old and you plug something in, it just falls right out?
That's how my refrigerator one was.
It's just like, blah.
Yeah.
So I changed them. So I'm like, all right, well, you got to go down and turn off the breaker so you can, safely remove the wires. You turn off the breaker and like 3/4 of the house is off. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But not in the breaker's in this room and then my son's room across.
Exactly.
It's like, why is that? It's not even remotely close. Why the hell?
That's how this house is.
It's
like,
like-
and then he was trying to label the new breakers for me, and he's walking through the house, and so I wasn't downstairs, I was upstairs, and I guess the guy, has maybe some instrument, and he's testing stuff, and he's like, okay, breaker number 4. He's like, what comes on or whatever. He turns on stuff, and he's like, where is it? And then he's like, okay, well, I guess room left front is tied to the far right wall of the bathroom, but not the whole bathroom, shit like that.
Yeah.
Or yeah. So
Like,
anyway.
Just can you just bulldoze the house and start over, please?
Yeah.
Start from scratch.
Yeah. And the guy's bitching at me like, well, you can just in the kitchen, you only have 2. It's going to blow not blow fuse was the
breaker?
other one, breaker, trip the breaker. He's like, you just don't use the toaster and the microwave at the same time and the coffee maker at the same time. I'm like,
make sure your toaster's done, but your toast is done before you reheat your coffee in the morning. You'll
yeah,
be fine.
I was like, okay. And then he saw the air conditioning units, window units in the basement. Oh, he read me the riot act. You can't plug those into the things that you've got. You'll blow the whole house down. I'm like, I've been doing it for like 5 years now. And I'm like, I use it only on a night that it's really hot for maybe like 6 hours. So anyway, this old guy, cranky pants, leaves, and the young guy, I'm like, can I really? He's like, don't worry about it. He's like,
Just
I wouldn't
stay off
plug
his lawn.
anything with, real big. He's like, for an extended period but like, you can run the toaster and the microwave at the same time. I'm like, thanks, young guy.
Whatever you do, do not press this button. If you press this button, I'm not responsible.
But then he gave me some sort of extra special bigger outlet in the basement underneath the breaker for like some sort of like I'm gonna run, like wood shop in the basement and run power tools. I'm like, I don't do anything down there. Why did you put it?
This here's a 50 amp just in case you want to start a superconductor.
Exactly.
And create some kind of
So the guy, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry,
reactor.
I don't know what I don't know. You can't fault me. Like, I should have studied up on all of electrical engineering before I bought a house. Okay.
Come on, everybody knows these principles. Where are you?
Right. So
Jeez.
whatever.
Just like everybody knows how to network, an office.
Right. So thanks, Mr. Mike. My brother, love you. You're the best. And especially, yes, he started solving shit for me when I was 3 years old, and I was trying to walk on a windowsill at our house, and I fell off and split my head open, and my parents weren't home, and he walked
He patched you up.
No, he carried me like, I don't know, it was 6, 8, 10 blocks up to the hospital.
How many of you are there in your family? There's
100. No.
There's thousands of us. You've got siblings. There's like 6 of you, or 7 of
6
you?
living. There was an infant that was gone, but
that's too
yeah, 6 of us, and I'm the youngest, and then my oldest sister
You're the baby.
is 17 years older than me.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Well, my brothers are 10 and 11 years older than me. And it's funny because you're talking about how your brother, carried you after you split your head open.
Uh-huh.
I
That's
got in
what's
between.
wrong with me, by the way.
Yes. I was in between my 2 brothers when they were fighting, or at least I ended up between them accidentally. My one brother, my middle brother, decided to, they were playing darts. Like the real darts.
Jarts?
No, not jarts. Just actual darts, but and
Blow darts?
and he wanted to
No.
he decided he was gonna just wing one, just whip one at my other brother, and it went in the back of my leg. It went in my calf.
Yikes.
And I remember looking down and seeing seeing a dart sticking out of my leg like that, and I was like, ah! So the brother that threw it, he took off.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows where he went. This was 1974 or 5 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
He went to go get high, probably. And then my other brother
Well,
threw
mine
me
all
on the
did.
couch and started pouring everything that's in the medicine cabinet on my leg.
Oh, yeah.
Methylate, mercurochrome, and all the other stain things. And they were like, don't tell mom and dad. Whatever you do, do not tell. You're cool, right? You're cool, right? As soon as my parents got home, look what happened to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And see, that's the thing with the younger kids. They can't keep anything. Something's going to come out eventually. Yeah. They don't have the lying skills yet, or the covering up. Speaking of that, lying.
Liar.
I got something that I wanted to talk about today. Lying liars in the lies they lie about.
How does it feel to have pants constantly on fire?
I like that. I thought you were talking about my pants. Remember, I was fixing. Fitz is like, I'm fixing the volume levels or whatever, and I'm like, I'm fixing my levels too. My
Fixing his
pant levels.
Pant levels.
By the way, how do you like my disco shirt?
I think you look great today.
Thank you.
It's like my wife. She can wear her hair curly and she can wear it straight, and I prefer the straight.
Oh,
I think
she's
the straight looks good.
beautiful. On me?
Yeah,
Everybody's got their, opinion.
right. Exactly.
And you know what opinions are like.
Things that you believe in. Oh, assholes, right?
Yes, everyone's got one.
Yeah.
And
Not everyone. I met a guy who did not have an asshole. It was a very, very strange guy. Bad breath.
Oh, Lord Jesus, have mercy. Okay, we're going to talk about lying. And actually, lying specifically related to sex. Okay, I think I'm going to name
Yes,
this.
I'm wearing a condom.
And I have to use my laptop, as you can see in my glasses, because my printer wasn't working.
I wish I had the intro for Hot for Teacher right now. You look like a teacher that would have, like, with the glasses and the. All right, kids, it's time to learn a little something about sex.
It's role-playing time.
All right. So,
okay. So,
you be Wilford Brimley.
Why would I be Wilford Brimley?
Well, you said it's role playing. I don't know.
Oh.
Thought it would be a cool role for you to play Wilford Brimley, talk about diabetes. All right, go ahead.
You got your lancets.
Oatmeal.
Okay. So,
I don't know.
Just my thing. I'm gonna call this episode "The Power of Sex Compels You."
Oh.
Like in The Exorcist,
Yes,
the
yes.
power of Christ compels you. The power of sex, because the power of sex really does make people do some really fucked up shit.
It does.
Real people will do such fucked up shit for sex.
Wars have been started for sex.
This is true, and but people will make all sorts of excuses, justifications, reasons to just get what they want. And which we also like to call manipulation.
Yep.
But no, I was listening to a radio bit talking about cheating, and it was.
Go ahead.
Sorry, and this isn't any sort of judgment. This is just, they were talking about cheating, and of course, as usual, radio bits go, they had somebody was, oh, it's okay, and the other one was, it's terrible, and then you'd get callers who were like,
point, counterpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Jane, you ignorant slut. And so this one guy was like, okay, I'm a it's your life kind of gal.
Do what you want to do.
People make mistakes.
Right.
Don't keep hurting your partner, blah, 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 blah. But also, like, if a woman decides to stay with her husband who cheats, then that's her fucking business. Don't berate her and stuff. I mean, if he's like, knocking you around, that's not good. But
No.
like, if somebody wants, like Hillary Clinton, if she wants to stay with Bill, who's, I think was a dog in the day, that's her business.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, as long as it doesn't, as long as women know, you don't have to tolerate this. Like back in the day, like, what was, Jackie Kennedy,
Oh, geez.
just turned a blind eye. Rose Kennedy turned a blind eye.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's their
They
business.
were all dogs. All of them guys.
But like, here's the thing. I have learned so much after my divorce about what people do. Like, I'm practically everybody cheats. I have learned, and I was a bit of a Pollyanna because I never cheated. But that just, for one, that wasn't my thing. I didn't need to, and two, I had little kids, and where the fuck was I going? I was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like I was meeting somebody in the janitor's closet. I was at home all day. So, but here are some of the excuses that I heard. Well, before I say that, sometimes it's just about sex. Sometimes somebody's horny and can't control themselves, but
Yep.
other times it's about control. So we all know that. But let me all right, I'll go through this one first. Here's some of the reasons that I have had people cheat on me in the past. So
These are the excuses. These are like, why'd you do it? And this is the answer kind
Yeah.
of thing. Okay.
yeah. So just for devil's advocate, let me know what you think.
Okay.
Oh, the one I've heard a lot that for married guys that have attempted to shtup me is my wife will never have sex with me, or she's such a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure. Whether it's true or not.
exactly, that was gonna be my point.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just one of those little manipulation things that I'll get to in just a minute. But here's I've had, gosh, I don't know, my marriage and a few relationships over my lifetime that have cheated on me. So these were the excuses that I was too much. Well, these are two separate ones, that I was too much of a mommy. So I was just always.
Oh, you were too much of you were mothering them? Is that?
No. I'm sorry.
They saw you too much
I
of a
was
mommy?
just in. Yeah.
So they weren't like sexually attracted to you?
Right. I became Mom Jean's mom.
Oh. Well, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. And then but
I mean,
the other
if you're not attracted to the person, like, call it off. Don't just like go behind their backs and
right, or
fuck
maybe
around.
just like tell them,
Or yeah,
hey,
communication is very.
Look, I think you're losing your identity. I mean, say it nicely. You're a beautiful woman. Whatever. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things on this radio bit that the guy was. He said he was a bartender and his wife had just had a baby, and so he cheated on her.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a common tale.
Yeah, and like, why did you do it? Because it was there. I was a bartender, and she was hot as hell.
Well, that's just because the guy's a fucking immature fool.
Right, but then the one woman on the show, when he said, and she just had a baby, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, that's not a reason.
I had that happen too.
It's not a reason.
No.
That's the reason is that the person is a selfish prick and wants to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, look, if your significant other has a baby and you still want to go out and get some tail, you got problems,
Right?
Because that's just bullshit.
Along with that, I'm going to finish with this list, but along with that, say if your wife just had a baby and you're not attracted and you want to go out and whatever, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you? When she questions you, like, I think you're having an affair, and she questions you, and you're like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Would you rather do that? No, I'm not, because you thought it was the responsible thing because you need to stay, but you're still gonna fuck around, or would you rather the guy just came clean? Me, I would rather the guy come clean.
Yeah.
I'd rather just don't do me any favors. If you don't want to be here, don't be here.
Right.
We can co-parent. Don't just stay because you think you're supposed to, and then everybody's going to think shitty of you because
I mean,
you left when the baby was a baby.
a lot of times it's the guy. The guy really needs to work out some shit.
Yeah.
True. Guy needs to go to therapy and figure out who he is and what he wants.
True. Well, that's the thing with sex. That so much of it is not about the actual sex.
Right. It's about the conquest. It's about maybe their own self-esteem being desired.
Right.
All that kind of
Or
stuff.
it's about you you want love, but the closest thing you can get is sex, so you just take that. Or I guess that was the self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
And or then there's control. You just want control in your life, and sex is how you can control. I mean, that's what rape is.
Right.
I mean,
and that's more, and that's an act, they say it all the time that rape isn't an act of sex, it's an act of violence, it's an act of control.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So okay, so I'll get back to that about the manipulation and whatnot. So yeah, that I was too much. And then within the mommy thing, it was that I just had no time for them. So
I mean, it's not a reason to cheat. It's a valid complaint to have in a relationship.
Right.
When someone doesn't have enough time for you.
Right.
But cheating is not the answer. The answer is to have a conversation and figure out what's going on. But not everybody's smart enough to do that, or mature enough to do that, or have the skills to do that. You know what I mean? Not everybody can express themselves.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, few people can express themselves properly.
I knew it was going on because it was someone I knew, and I had a newborn and 2 under the age of 5, and
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and he was gaslighting me. I was like, okay, I see 800 calls to her phone on the phone bills.
And he's trying to make you think that you're paranoid?
Yeah. You're paranoid. You're a bitch. What are you doing looking at the phone bill? Well, I pay the bills.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, I forget what I was talking about. Oh, so he's like, he didn't want to be the bad guy. That's why he didn't leave. So he just stayed and acted really shitty.
Right. Because that's not being the bad guy. Not at all.
I was literally, I said, just tell me. Just tell me.
And
he lied and lied and lied and lied. And that has happened with other relationships I've been in, that I'm like, just tell me. I know. I have a receipt. I have proof. Right. No. I'm like, why?
Audio, video recordings.
Exactly. The other person told me. Right.
She's sitting behind you.
She's your coworker. And I saw, but I don't know what the adversity to telling the truth is. I guess it's because you still want to keep both on the.
Well, you want to have your cake and eat it too, or, something in their upbringing says admitting to this is wrong. So if you don't admit to it, you're not really doing it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Don't admit to it. It's not happening.
Oh my God. Because that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Right.
In the Catholic, if you don't talk about it, it's not happening.
Right.
That's what my sex education was like. Right. We're not going to, she's 15 and has a steady boyfriend. We're not going to talk about sex, and then it won't happen.
Right. If you ignore it, then it's not happening.
I'm 56 and my parents have been dead for 10 years and I'm still waiting for my sex talk. But anyway, so everybody's different though. Everybody's different. Is if somebody would want to know or not know, that's up to you. But that was just a talking point. That's all. So let me get back to the excuses I've been given why people cheated on me. They felt too tied down.
Okay.
I guess maybe like when you're married.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the definition of tied down.
Constricting, yeah.
But you're not. But I mean that's a point of view. I wouldn't say you're tied down. That's a negative viewpoint of being married.
Or being suffocated or held hostage or whatever.
Again, issues that this person needs to deal with.
Exactly. Thank you. And then,
a YP.
But also if you're just dating, what does that mean, by the way?
Your problem, not an MP or my problem.
Oh, because you said that in the last.
And I confused you.
Thing. Yeah, you did. Your problem. That's your problem, not a me problem.
Right,
okay.
Right.
I love that saying.
Problem.
So What the fuck was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, so yeah, if you're married, that's one thing. But if you're dating, just break up with them.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a
I-
lot of people who don't have that. They can't.
Right. But it's maybe an actual, they think they really love this person and they don't want to lose them, but they still want to
Right. It's
stick their dick in some other stuff.
right.
Or
Mashed
if it's a
potatoes, if you
woman,
will.
sit on some other stuff. Mashed potatoes. What?
If I had known it was going to be this kind of party, I wouldn't have stuck my dick in the mashed potatoes.
What movie is that?
I don't remember. It was from it was a sample in a song. I thought it was a
Send-
Beastie Boys song.
I don't think so.
Maybe
if
not.
anybody knows, put it in the comments down
Yeah.
below. But then again, I'll have Googled it by then.
But we at least know you're paying
But
attention.
yes, exactly.
No, it's always
Comment
about
while you're here and subscribe while you're here. Please smash that bell and subscribe if you like Madge's sex talk. So felt too tied down. They wanted to use the current relationship to get back at their ex.
Oh, that's
So the girl that starts seeing some guy to flaunt him around because she wants to show the
get
ex.
back at her ex. Like, look what I got. And
Yeah.
you're still
Or
not-
either to try and lure them, or maybe if they're still really mad at their ex, to maybe dangle that carrot. Like, oh, I miss you. Here, let me be with you. And then the person thinks the relationship's going to start again. And they're like, nope, fuck you. Bye. So it was just like grudge sex or whatever. Revenge sex. I don't know,
Yeah.
that one's kind of
I've
complicated.
had that one before.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
That's
think
why it's on the list.
everyone has.
Oh, here's my favorite one. They couldn't help it.
I just don't know how to say no.
I just couldn't help it.
I mean-
Again, she grabbed my dick and pulled it into
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. It just happened.
Yeah.
just
It just
happened.
happened. Yeah. That's
Just
kind of
happened.
the same thing.
It just happened that I followed her back to her place. That she lives 30 miles away, and in that whole
traveled
drive, I
6
never
hours to
once
see
thought.
Yeah. I do have to say, I can see I'm drunk and I was drunk and I hooked up with this person and I completely regret it and I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah.
Sure, absolutely.
I could see it, but if that's happening like every weekend, no,
Right.
I'm pretty goddamn lenient and open. At this age, at 56 years old, I realize I cannot control what anybody else does. I cannot control anybody but me. People are going to do that's like, I never understood these men or women that like stalk their partner or spouse. Like, I saw you liked her thing on Facebook, or, calling them 18 times. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Or
Yeah.
following them around, whatever. And it's like, bitch, that behavior is going to drive them away if
Yep.
they weren't before.
Yep.
So, and you doing that is most likely not going to stop them either. It may stop them in that moment, but I don't know. People are going to do what they're going to do. If you told me, if I wouldn't have said that 20 years ago, but I've had more experience and more mature in life, and it doesn't mean it's okay. I mean, I'll decide that, but anyway, people are gonna do what they're gonna do.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
Here's another one I love too, because the other person pressured them
Pressured them into.
having sex. The other woman, other man pressured them into having sex. Now, if it was a woman,
I mean,
maybe. If it was like,
you said to be devil's advocate here,
sure,
so
sure.
I'm going to say that there could be some situations where that would be valid, maybe not condoned, but valid of a valid
Like a boss?
based on possibly, yeah, but some people who are easily manipulated, who are easily
True.
convinced, or yeah,
I see your point.
it's some kind of, again, not saying that it's right or that it's excusable, but some people can be convinced of things more so than for whatever, like I don't know, I can't think of a real reason.
For me, I mean, I got pressured into things.
I'll murder your kids if you don't sleep with me.
I mean, I got pressured into
All right.
stuff by my ex. Just like you better not, I don't know, buy this, and I would be, oh, okay, I won't. But now I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It,
Well, I mean, that's
but with sex.
okay.
What? Oh, you have something else to say?
Well,
about
I was
that?
just gonna say, like my relationship with my wife now, we've gone through a lot of ups and downs, and not just the ones between the shades. Hey, oh, this year's our 20th anniversary in November.
Yay!
November's gonna be 20 years,
Congratulations.
and I have to say that we had some good years. We had a lot of bad years in there, and I'm really grateful for the last, like, say, 5 years.
I see you holding your fingers.
I'm like 5 years. The last 5 years have been not without problems, but not compared to the marriage previous. It's been blissful, and that was because we both had to undergo a lot of sort of self-searching and figure out, like, okay, why does this person do this? Well, maybe some of it, maybe I am part of the problem. It takes two. So two people can cause a problem that snowballs, and then someone does something terrible.
Right.
And it's like, and then if you go back, and if there's enough love there, and if there's the real reason why you're together is still present in your relationship, then things can eventually be worked out.
So two things that made me think of that were on my list of one reason was they were mad at me. I was mad at you, so I went and boned somebody
Yeah.
else. But then the
Yeah.
other is that's their self-medication.
Yeah.
So you talking about your working through things that I've known people that and then again, that's a YP.
Right.
that's a psychological problem that they have, or a emotional issue that when they, some people something comes you can't deal with, you're overwhelmed, you're angry, whatever. Some people hit the bottle, some people hit the needle, some people hit
the secretary.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not even getting into
Or the
whole
milkman.
or the the milkman. I
By the
I
way,
always love that one.
This is not
You
a
look
man
like the
bashing.
milkman.
I know. This is not a man bashing.
Right.
I've met a fuck ton of women that cheated.
Yeah, there's plenty of hooers out there. It's like I
Let's not call them that.
was talking about the guys,
Oh,
but sex addiction is a real thing, and
It is.
that could also be a reason. But then that goes back to the whole therapy thing and whole discovering who you are and how to fix yourself and all that.
yeah. Exactly. Because also you're talking about being married for many years, and that old, like how my parents were married for 64 years when my father died.
Yeah.
And so people, you don't stay the same person for 64 years.
No.
You're not.
You kind of become the one person in a lot of ways, or
Well, but
two halves
also
of one person.
you're 24 when you get married, you're not the same person as you are at 89.
No.
So people have to work through the growing pains, really. I mean, you grow together, you grow apart, grow apart. So you decide to go work with it. I mean, unless somebody's like seriously taking a left turn, like somebody I know. But anyway, so Oh, the other thing I was told is they just kept getting lured back by the other person. Okay, whatever.
So let me ask you if this is on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Person gets into, an illicit affair with someone
Mm-hmm.
and realizes that this is a bad thing and tries to break it off, and that person that he is with
Is not gonna
is not allowing it
right.
in various ways. And I know you say, well, how can you not allow it? You just leave. But when that person is genuinely, regardless of this person is cheating, and that's bad, is generally a caring person, and if someone that they're with,
What was
says
that?
they're gonna hurt themselves, or they're
Yeah,
pulling
what was
that
the
kind
movie with Michael Douglas and the
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction? Yeah,
Where it's like, I tried to break it off, and then this happened and that happened, and she ended up in the hospital, and I was like, all right, let's talk about this, and and then you end up stuck,
yeah.
and you don't want to be there. Now you're in two relationships, and you're like, how did I get here?
That's emotional or actual blackmail.
Yeah, it is, and it's manipulation again.
Yeah.
It's I want what I want. Screw the hell. I don't care what you want. I'm going to get what I want.
Well,
regardless.
That's what I was gonna talk about with the manipulation of people, and back when I was a kid. Okay, remember the movie Grease?
Sure.
A big
A hickey from a Kanicki is like a Hallmark card.
a big, I don't know, there were musical numbers and parts in the thing, like, prodding what's his face to get some from Sandy.
Oh yeah.
And they're talking about what moves do you use the arm around, or maybe that was a Happy Days episode. I don't know, but you yawn to put your arm
No,
around.
I think that was in Greece.
That's fucking manipulation. And when I got such a problem with that was just a part of society back then. Well, it still is now. Like, they really want it, but they just need some, prodding. And it's just all about manipulation. How you're going to manipulate. God, why don't manipulate? Manipulate. I know I said that on purpose. So I did this. Manipulate somebody else to do something that you want. So that brings me to, manipulation and getting what you want. And then they're always, that's just the way the way men are. Well, I don't think we should have that anymore. I think men, and I'm not being man bashing, but it's like, how come there's always, self-defense classes for women? How come there's no knock that shit off classes for men?
Knock that shit off classes for men?
Don't treat women like that. Don't try and.
Yeah, it's called parenting. It should be anyway.
But that's the first thing I did with my son is like, you don't ever push a woman into something she doesn't want to do. No means no.
Right.
You don't try and manipulate the situation.
Right.
You don't sleep with her and then talk shit about her and make fun of her and all that. You treat women with respect.
Yes.
Where's that class?
There's no class. That's called parenting. That's called raising a person properly.
But it's still going generation to generation.
Right, because
it has to stop it.
Right.
Somewhere.
Like father, like son is a real thing. It's just like when you like in school, when your kid has a problem with the bully, right? And then you meet the parents and you're like, well, no wonder why this kid's a fucking bully.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. That's what they know.
Yep. That, oh my God. And somebody was bullying somebody or some guy was sexually harassing a girl. And then all of a sudden the perpetrator wants to be the victim. So, they turn into, well, they did it to me. And she was wearing the short skirt.
Yeah,
and
she was asking for it.
She came up to the victim blaming
came
over to my dorm room to sit with me. to work on homework. What was I supposed to do? Well, you can sit in a fucking room with a female and not trying to hop on her. How about that?
This is
Stop trying to tell me what to do and what to not to do so I can avoid it. How about telling men just fucking knock it off and don't do this shit? Sorry.
I don't think I've in my lifetime in my dating experiences and that stuff, I don't think I've ever. There's only been one time where I kissed somebody and they didn't want to be kissed.
Oh yeah.
But they kissed me while that moment, and then afterwards it was like, yeah, no, because it's like I feel this connection. I feel like there's something going on here. There's some chemistry, and I act on it. And if she doesn't want that, she pulls away, and you go, oh, I'm sorry, and that's it.
Exactly. I mean,
you don't be like,
humans
come
are
here,
not
come here.
right. I mean. How do I say this?
It's about respect, really.
Well, but like sex is still like a delicate dance or just attraction to people. Like, you don't know. Not everyone is going to walk around and be like, "May I kiss you? May I hold your hand?"
Well,
you go with the flow of energy and if you read a cue wrong and the person says, "Oh no," or whatever, then you don't do it.
Right. Then you apologize.
And you apologize.
Yeah, because that's with the Me Too movement, that's the big thing right now or recently has been, hi, I was thinking that I would like to hug you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
If you're going to go in for a hug and the person kind of recoils, then you go, oh, okay, here's your hand. You know, I mean, come on.
That's a tough one because I'm a huggy person, and I guess
Huggy bear.
I guess sometimes now I have kind of stopped and been like,
COVID changed
is that
right? Yeah.
Okay, but then there's people like Andrew Cuomo or even Joe Biden. There was a dust up about that well, it's just what I do. I hug and I
They're
touch,
a little too
and it's
grabby.
like, okay, I get it. There are people that are very tactile. They like to hug, but when someone tells you to stop or that's not appropriate,
or they recoil,
social behavior, then don't fucking do it. Because that's what bothered me with Andrew Cuomo is he kept trying to explain it away. And, well, this is just what I do. I'm Italian and but I don't care. Oh, I think I made a joke about that a long time ago. Like, I don't care if you're Italian and your custom is to fucking stick your finger in someone's ass. I don't want you to do it to me, so don't do it. It's my custom.
I'm not going to that deli again.
Yeah. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't want this to be like so strict and man bashing, but just
I mean, you're talking about your experiences from your point of view, so it's definitely going to be from that point of view. So you're talking about guys, but it goes both ways. It always does.
Oh, here's now
some girls go both ways too.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we're approaching the next part of my thing. When I lived in, I don't even know if I should name it. I don't know. I lived in the suburbs out west, and there was this huge, and it was like
Wyoming or
Denver, and it was like this huge, white bread planned community. Everyone was perfect. Everyone was, it was like Desperate Housewives. Yeah, but it was this huge. There was this huge swinger population.
Oh yeah.
How do I know? Because I met some, and they would tell me that there's a huge. But then also, I got hit on.
Yeah.
Because I guess they call it the unicorn. It's trying to find that the single female to come into the male-female couple. Because that's, I guess, what most women want, if they're curious,
Because guys don't want to bring another guy in with them.
Right, right, exactly. Even though the woman might, but you shouldn't cross swords, though.
Don't cross the streams.
So they always, and I was I'm very gregarious and touchy and lovey, and and I'll even I'll make flirty things, but if they're tongue in cheek, like,
Yeah.
oh, aren't you a handsome one? But some say, oh, she's after my man. I literally, how many times I was accosted, well, okay, twice. I was accosted twice for women. They thought I was having something with their guy because I was just like, well, don't you look handsome today or whatever? And they came at me. And they were my friends. But anyway, so that's for another show. So I got hit on a few times, and it was really quite awkward because they would try and do it sometimes, again with the manipulation. They would try it in some, like one time I asked a guy to help me move, and that somehow was an invitation to be in a threesome with him and his wife.
I mean, that's the first thing I thought of when you said that.
When I was like, no, yeah, then I was like, no, thank you. And it was just him. He still somehow thought that was an invitation for him to try and fuck me.
Yeah.
Somehow, and we're carrying a bed mattress down the stairs, and like, huh? You mind if I get in there?
You ask me to move, I better be getting something in return.
That's apparently
normally it's a pizza.
Pizza, yeah. It's not, my vagina is a gift. Yeah. So, that, or they'd be friends and they'd be like, oh, hey, meet us out for a drink. I'm like, oh, okay, we're all neighborhood, whatever. Then
yeah,
here's another drink. Here's another.
Let's
drink.
go back to my place.
Yeah,
and they come out in silk robes, and you're like, what?
I am not kidding you. That happened to me.
Oh my God.
And the other one that happened, and then this happened both as a single guy trying to do it to me and as a couple doing it to me. Now, look, I'm saying these things about getting hit on. I'm not anything special. I'm not.
That's not true. You're very special.
Oh, thanks. So I'm not saying it like that. If you have a pulse, men will hit on you for the most part. So
that's not even true. They don't have to have a pulse.
Well, that's true.
For some people.
For some people. I've watched enough ID channel to know that. But so twice I had, well, more than twice. I was a realtor. And they're like, oh, I want to see this house. I want to see this house. And I would set up a showing. And they tried to shtup me there. Some of them were people I kind of knew. They were acquaintances. And the couple, tried to shtup me.
Wow.
She's all like, oh, yeah, you should come out with us. Oh, and then one overt one, a guy I was dating said, oh, hey, after we'd gone out a few times, 2-3 times. He's like, oh, let's go to this other club. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know where this is. And it was kind of remote, whatever. And we go and we walk into this club, and I think he said it was private club. That's why there's a desk here. And then soon after, I realized I'm in a sex club.
Yeah.
Because it's not like
you can kind of tell when you walk in. I can't describe it, but there's a certain look that those clubs have when you walk in. You're like, uh-oh. Yeah,
because but also
there's a lot of red velvet in here for some reason.
Right, because a sex club is not the minute you open the door and there's naked bodies. No, there's warm-up rooms. Like there's a bar, so people stand around and socialize, and then I guess you kind of, stake out who you might want to have some group stuff with or something, swap or something. I don't know. And then I don't know, then you notice that there's people start hugging and kissing that didn't come in together.
Yeah.
And then there's like, oh, hey, let's go dance. And well, why are there topless women in this dance floor? He's like, oh, let's go over here. And that's where all the naked people are. And I was like, oh, and it's not like your fantasy where you think everybody's gorgeous and thin and
right. Yeah. You're like,
it's like,
look, if I'm on a swap, I want to trade up.
62-year-old, 300-pound man. Yeah. Sorry for any 62-year-old, 300-pound man, but I was 37 and I weighed like 110. And what did I say? No, I was 35 and I weighed 110. And like I could.
Yeah, that would
That's
be
not.
painful for you.
You're not my demo. Yeah, it would have crushed the shit out of me
was like-
too. I don't know. Anyway, but
I just
yeah,
ruined a
it
pencil
was.
for that joke. Damn it.
Damn it. So yeah, that was complete manipulation. That was complete manipulation. Like I didn't even know we were going there, and like
That's subterfuge.
yeah, that's sabotage.
It is. Come on, y'all.
What?
Come on, y'all. It's
Sabotage.
still gonna do
Well,
that.
we can do quick news. Then that way we'll wrap
a little
it up.
quickie.
Yeah.
A little quickie in
Let's
the
have a
newsroom with
quickie
Edward R.
with the
Morrow.
news, because I had enough of talking about that sex.
I've never.
Had a quickie?
No, I've had plenty of those.
Almost every time's a quickie. I'm kidding.
That's like, what exactly would a quickie be? 30 seconds? You said news, right?
Yeah.
All right. Today is National Goof Off Day, by the way.
Oh, let me go.
And I don't know if that's actually like shirking your responsibilities or goof off that you use to get like wallpaper off the wall.
I thought that was called Goo Be Gone.
Oh, could be. I used to live down in Florida. I'm from there, or at least I grew up there. And Miami was sort of notorious for just terrible government and a lot of just stupid things. And this, Miami just spent $350,000 on new park lights. And the park closes at sundown, so the lights don't actually matter.
That's some stupid shit right there.
Oh, I love it.
That's called not thinking it all the way through.
Let's see. Police in West Michigan were forced to release body cam video after a man complained that an officer mistreated an opossum in the road.
Not the opossum.
Yes. Seamus opossum. Just in
By
time
the way,
for...
people that don't know, that's the way you spell possum. There's an O in front. But
Yes.
you don't. It's a silent O. And I think we have a very educated audience that already knew that. Yeah.
A 25-year-old OnlyFans model underwent brain surgery earlier this month, but that didn't stop her from taking naughty footage for her subscribers in her hospital bed in and out of her hospital gown. That is some full-service OnlyFans.
That's some. But like, who's watching that?
We talked about
weird.
this.
You're creepy.
We
Oh,
talked about this.
okay.
There is a market for everything.
Yeah. I do agree on that point.
A woman is suing a novelty company for sending her a 5-inch chocolate penis with, quote, no redeeming social qualities whatsoever. She's suing for damages like psychological counseling and lost wages. I don't get that. Was it random?
Right, exactly. Did she order regular chocolate and they sent her chocolate penis, or did someone else? Yeah, that one
A
doesn't.
woman is suing a novelty gift company for sending a life-size dick-shaped chocolate to her door, citing fear, nervousness, anxiety, worry, and indignity at receiving a phallic confection on her doorstep.
All
So wait,
phallic
you
symbols.
didn't order the dick? Oh my God, and it's great. You got to see. It says eat a dick, and it's got a box with a big chocolate dick.
What's the address for this place? I gotta order a few, and
right.
not for me. Gotta send them out as gifts.
It doesn't actually say.
Now, if somebody else sent that to that lady and then she went and sued, now I can see why they sent her something that said "eat a dick" because she's a jerk.
Luxury alternative chocolate.
I love it.
And wow, that is
That's a whopper.
seriously a lot of calories in that schlong.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's got almonds too. It's like nuts.
On that note,
Yeah, what about it?
I think that's it for today's Madge Unmuted. Fitz,
Yeah.
thanks for being you.
Ending on a low note.
Thanks for being you, as always. Rockfox.com.
My pleasure.
For all your recording needs, audio, video. Want to record a audiobook? Fitz is your man. Rockfox.com. Me, Madge Madigan. Please subscribe here wherever you are, YouTube or on audio, Spotify, iHeart, Apple. Please subscribe. And if you really enjoy what you hear, see, please think about becoming a member of my Patreon page.
I highly recommend it.
I highly recommend it too, because, you know, it costs money to be this down and dirty. It costs. If you're enjoying this, if you enjoy this podcast on the regular, you know, toss me a couple nickels. That would be nice. Help us keep the lights on. Anyway,
Couple of nipples.
Follow me, Madge Madigan. And until next week, see you then.
Bye-bye.